It's been a long day. You've done everything you can. You handled the household, the appointments, the shuffling here, shuffling there, getting the errands done. But you thought, I'd really like to make him his favorite dinner tonight, lasagna. And you present dinner to him and you said, honey, I made your favorite. And then what do you get back? A blank stare. No words of thank you. So, what could be going on? What is happening potentially in your stroke survivor's brain? He may have weakness on the left side of his body, meaning it's a right hemisphere stroke. So, that's what we're going to get in today. We're talking about right hemisphere stroke and relationships and emotions and what could be going on. We design these episodes based on conversations we're having every day. What are the common problems that are coming up? What are spouses and care partners noticing that is different? And we make every attempt to explain it to you in terms that mean something to you. We are into talking about real life situations, helping you understand that and move forward to build a life after a stroke or aphasia. So, what if your loved one stopped reacting to you entirely? I have tons of interactions with people every month that say, I don't get any smiles, no thank yous, no acknowledgement. And for that care partner who feels like she's bending over backwards, this is heartbreaking. But it could very well be this is not intentional. Brains, especially right hemisphere, you can have changes in emotions and they just react differently. They process information differently. So that's what we're getting into today. Why does right hemisphere stroke affect emotions and ultimately relationships? So, right hemisphere strokes don't cause, often, I will say, do not cause an aphasia, an impairment in language, but it doesn't mean that there aren't other things going on below the surface. Right hemisphere stroke can change how a person processes emotions, social cues, and ultimately relationships. So, what does the right hemisphere control? Recognizing emotions in facial expressions and tone of voice, understanding sarcasm and implied meaning. That whole reading between the lines thing, it can very well be lost on the person with a right hemisphere stroke. Processing of nonverbal cues like body language. So if the spouse is stomping around the kitchen, making a bunch of noise, and any one of us would perceive that she's upset or she's frustrated, there's clearly something going on, but the person with a right hemisphere stroke may not even perceive it. It's not that they're ignoring it. It's not that they're trying to not acknowledge it. Their brain just may not be acknowledging it. So the other thing is they may not respond appropriately in conversations. So when this part of the brain is affected by a stroke, the person may speak fluently but struggle with emotional and social connections. So common changes you may notice. They may come across as flat, not a lot of emotion, not a lot of intonation in their speech, and they're just not reacting the way they used to. They may struggle to recognize when you're upset or frustrated, or on the other end of the spectrum, when you're happy and joyful. They may say things that feel blunt or insensitive, and they don't realize the impact of that. It's like meeting someone who doesn't have a filter, or they may not respond at all because their brain isn't processing social cues in real time. So here's the key takeaway: these changes aren't intentional, they are the result of the brain working differently. So, why do these changes feel so personal? Well, let's take it from the perspective of the spouse or care partner. Why doesn't he notice what I'm doing? He used to say, I love you every night, and now he doesn't say it at all. He doesn't even say good morning. He just cuts me off mid sentence, like what I'm saying doesn't matter, that his words and his thoughts take precedence over mine. So, how to adapt and maintain connection? Number one, separate the stroke from the person. Ask yourself, is this really him ignoring me, or is this the stroke affecting how he processes emotions? Recognizing this difference can help you respond with patience instead of hurt. And this may not sort itself out immediately. You may actually need to do some writing down of observations. You may need to start looking for patterns. Look at this from an objective perspective. Take a step back and try not to take it personally. Be the detective and see if you can figure out what's going on. Sometimes detaching the emotion and seeing it from the outside will help you understand better what might be going on. Number two, adjust your expectations. Your loved one still cares, but they may not express it in the same way. Instead of waiting for them to initiate affection, take the lead. Say, I love you, without expecting them to say it back every time. Maybe you have to say, honey, I said I love you, but you didn't react. Did you hear me? Or what do you have to say? Sometimes we have to open up that conversation. With the dinner example of the spouse making his favorite lasagna, how does the meal taste? Asking an open-ended question might get you more feedback or, at least interaction. Number three, use direct communication. Instead of hinting, because remember, they don't read between the lines. Sarcasm may not work. You have to be direct and clear. Ask the question for the kind of answer you want the response for. Instead of hinting, or saying something like, do you like what I made for dinner? Instead, say, I'd love to hear what you thought of dinner tonight. Instead of saying, I'm upset because you didn't notice what I did, say, I worked really hard on this today and I'd love for you to acknowledge it. Again, you are giving open ended questions, you are inviting them to respond. And you are doing it without emotion and reaction, which is really important. Number four, you need to find new ways to connect. Schedule intentional time together, even if it's just sitting quietly. We have these streaming TV services now. We don't have to wait through commercials for the most part, right? Find a time, find a show to connect with, or say, let's listen to this audiobook tonight, or let's listen to this podcast together, or let's just sit on the couch and listen to music. These things may not come naturally, so you have to be very purposeful and intentional. Use visual or written reminders to help prompt social engagement. Now, this is a really interesting idea. Again, this is not one of those strategies that's going to work immediately. Part of it is you have to open up the conversation to start acknowledging that you're not hearing back from your partner what you're expecting to hear back. So you can use visual and written reminders to help prompt social engagement. So maybe there's a piece of paper on the dinner table that's right next to where you would set his plate. Say something nice about the meal or say thank you. Sometimes we just have to give these prompts. And the other thing for the spouse care partner, to help you feel like you're completely alone in this and that you feel isolated even in your own home because your person isn't responding. It's so important to be part of a support group. It's important to be with other spouses and care partners that are likely going through the same issues as you are, so that you can get their perspective, so that you can hear more from them about what they're going through, so you don't feel alone. And beyond that, it's a great way to bond. So, our final takeaway for this session: right hemisphere strokes change how emotions, relationships, and social cues are processed. Care partners often feel hurt or frustrated, but understanding the why makes a really big difference. Small shifts in communication and expectations can rebuild connections. Care partners, are you exhausted from doing everything alone? Why not build your support network? Very soon, we are offering a course. It's a 60-minute course where you come away with the first steps to building your support network. Whether you think you have anybody that can support you or not, you will come away with tangible actions that you can take to start relieving some of the pressure on your caregiving journey. Check the link below to sign up today and learn more.